3 girls were kidnapped, tortured, and AR'd by an illegal immigrant gang in northern Minnesota. This happened recently. One of the girls was 11 years of age. A town called Bemidji is located in a rural area in northern Minnesota near the source of the Mississippi River. 22-year-old Oscar Luna was arrested at the scene. Several men were identified at the scene as well and transported by U.S. Border Patrol to be processed as illegal aliens. Not only illegal aliens, but scumbag, kidnappers, torturers, and arists. I'm not allowed to say the R word in full. YouTube doesn't approve. We're told that an 11-year-old girl, along with 2 other girls, were tied up and AR'd by several pieces of shit CUNTs at a Bemidji home. Bemidji Sanford Hospital Emergency Department called police in regards to an assault complaint on September the 23rd. The 11-year-old girl said that she was with a woman who forced her to drink alcohol. The 11-year-old also said that a bag was placed over her head. She was taken to a home. She was stripped and AR'd. 2 other girls were in the room. They were tied up. Another girl was in a closet, and at least one of the girls was bloody and unconscious. This is like a scene from a nightmare. Well, thankfully I don't suffer nightmares like this, but this is an awful, awful, gruesome scene, and this is part of the world. This type of absolute savagery, absolute despicableness occurs, and it's happened in a town called Bemidji, northern Minnesota, seemingly at the hands of an illegal immigrant gang, crossing the border illegally and then subjecting your children, multiple of your children, to these horrendous acts: torture, kidnapping, and forced to drink alcohol by women. It's not just men. Women are involved too. Locked in closets, bags put over their heads, beaten. This scumbag, 22 years of age, Oscar Luna. How does someone get to be this sick and twisted at the age of 22? Maybe that's a silly thing for me to say, but it does bother me. Like, a 22-year-old, a decade ago, they were a child, and then they become this monstrous. How does that happen? I don't get it. But this scumbag, Oscar Luna, has been charged with first-degree criminal sexual conduct. But again, we're told that several other people were identified at the scene, 11 of whom were transported by US Border Patrol to be processed as illegal immigrants. I'm hoping that they get processed beyond the illegal alien aspect. I'm hoping that they get treated for the torturers, kidnappers, and arists that they are, even if not all 11 that were in the home at the scene participated in the attack. I've got to presume, perhaps incorrectly, but probably correctly, I'm going to presume that they were aware of the awful, awful abuse that these girls suffered. They need to face proper, serious punishment, proper, serious imprisonment, more than just being yet another illegal immigrant. Being an illegal immigrant doesn't register anything in America, as far as I understand. Certainly not in Biden's America. They're perfectly welcome, aren't they? Even when one state, one city feels they've got a little bit too many illegal immigrants, they just bust them over to another city or state, drop them off outside of Kamala Harris's house, and then they're left alone to do what they want. They probably even get access to the welfare system before long. And I hope that isn't the case here. I hope these 11 scumbags, if they were closely involved, if they were complicit, if they were aware of and failed to act in regards to this terrible abuse of multiple young girls, and they just stood by, even if they didn't participate, they need to be heavily punished. One of the girls has named the woman involved, or at least one of the women involved, as being Verna Fairbanks. The girl referred to her as Auntie, so a woman who essentially, as far as I understand, befriended the young girls, treated them well, groomed them so that they could be passed over to scumbag CUNT, evil, depraved men who essayed them in horrific ways. So we're told that Verna Fairbanks told this one girl, perhaps the others, to get into a car. Then, after that, once in the car, someone else put a bag over the girl's head and brought her to the house with 4 men that were described as being Mexican, so of South American appearance, certainly, and at which point she was treated terribly. Not using quite the right words there. She was forced to drink alcohol. She had a rope put around her neck. Where is the outrage for this subject? Jussie Smollett had a rope put around his neck, apparently, allegedly, in a fake attack, whatever that situation was. And there was a global, worldwide media panic in regards to that. So some actor makes up a story that 2 MAGA hat wearing guys that didn't exist put a noose over his neck, a rope around his neck. That becomes a major worldwide media hoo-ha. Here, in the world of reality reality, multiple girls have been subjected to these awful treatments, including having a rope put around one of the girls' necks, forced to drink alcohol. And I've only come across this one Gateway Pundit article. So I congratulate the Gateway Pundit. I know a lot of you will feel that the Gateway Pundit and similar right-wing publications are evil, are fake news and all of this. But I mean, these are the only guys discussing this topic. Okay, so if we go back to the guy that we see in the one photo that we have, Oscar Luna, 22 years of age, we're told that it is believed that he is one of the scumbags, one of multiple men who arred the girls, or at least one of them. He's one of them that arred them. But he also was responsible for saving them, as far as we understand. So he rescued at least two of the girls. He threw one of them down the stairs. Hopefully she didn't sustain any injuries from that, but it was in an attempt to rescue the girls. So that's quite a conflicting situation. He's an absolute scumbag. He needs to face justice. He is alleged to have arred at least one of the girls involved, but at the same time, he has rescued them. He grabbed at least one of the girls. He threw one of the girls down the stairs in an attempt to help her get away, and seemingly that is what happened. At least one of the girls, there's a little bit of grayness, we're not told every last detail, but at least one of the girls did get away, was able to go to hospital. The hospital was able to alert the police. The police seemingly did a raid and arrested these scumbags. Again, 11 at the scene. Most, if not all, are being processed as illegal immigrants, but as I say, I really do hope they're prosecuted much further than just being illegal immigrants. If they were in essentially a house with multiple girls tied up, kidnapped, tortured, and being arred, being essayed by multiple men. I mean, if you're at that house, you know what's going on. If you're at that house, you need to be, I can't say exactly what I would do myself personally to these scumbags. I'd use a short piece of lead at high velocity, but they need to face full and proper justice, as of course does this scumbag Oscar Luna. It is conflicting. He did save the girls. He alerted the authorities, perhaps indirectly, to this awful situation. I would imagine that he deserves some level of leniency for that, but having said that, he arred an 11-year-old by the look of it, so not a lot of leniency. I don't know, a bit conflicted by that, I guess. I'm interested in your thoughts and comments in regards to that. Again, I'm going to applaud the Gateway Pundit for covering this topic. I've not seen it elsewhere. This article was published a few days ago. There are so many articles that I would love to cover, but of course this is just a hobby for me. I do it part-time. I don't always have the energy to make the videos, and with that, in regards to that, I do very much appreciate your support. If you're able to like, comment, subscribe this video or other videos, that would be great. If you're in a position to join my memberships, that would be wonderful. A super chat, a super thank would be nice, but that's fine if you're not in a position to do that. So I'm going to wrap things up. Thanks for listening and take care.